The skeletal system serves as the foundation of the human body, a complex structure that allows us to move, protect our internal organs, and perform various daily activities. Comprised of 206 bones in adults, the skeletal system is an intricate network of bones, joints, cartilage, ligaments, and tendons working harmoniously to support our body. The skeletal system provides the structural framework that gives our body its own shape and form. Without bones, our bodies would be limp and unable to stand upright. Think of the skeletal system as a scaffolding that holds everything in place from our muscles to our skin. One of the most vital functions of the skeletal system is to protect our internal organs from damage. The skull encases the brain, the rib cage shields the heart and lungs, and the vertebrae protect the spinal cord. This protective function is essential for survival as it ensures that our most crucial organs remain intact even in the event of trauma. Bones, in conjunction with muscles, enable movement. Joints allow bones to move relative to one another, facilitating everything from walking to typing. Muscles attach to bones via tendons, and when they contract, they pull on the bones, creating movement. Without this collab, even the simplest task would be absolutely impossible. Bones act as reservoirs for minerals, primarily calcium and phosphorus, which are critical for various bodily functions. These minerals can be released into the bloodstream as needed, helping maintain mineral balance and supporting metabolic processes. Within the cavities of certain bones lies bone marrow, a vital tissue responsible for producing red and white blood cells and platelets. This process, known as hematopoiesis, is crucial for maintaining healthy blood and immune system function. Bones are composed of two main types of tissue, each with distinct roles. There is the compact bone, which is a dense, hard outer layer that provides bones with their strength and rigidity. It is designed to withstand compressive forces and protect the inner layers of the bone. The compact bone forms the outer shell of most bones and is critical for weight-bearing activities. Then there's the spongy bone, located inside bones. Spongy bone is lighter and less dense than compact bone. It has a porous structure that resembles a honeycomb, which allows it to absorb shock and distribute pressure. Spongy bone contains red bone marrow, which is involved in the production of blood cells. The human skeleton can be categorized into several types based on the shape and function of the bones. Long bones are longer than they are wide and are primarily found in the arm and legs. Long bones are crucial for movement and support the weight of the body. Then there are short bones, which are approximately as long as they are wide, providing stability and support with little movement. They are designed to bear weight and absorb shock. Then there are flat bones, which are thin and typically curved, such as the skull, ribs, and scapulae. Flat bones protect internal organs and provide a surface for muscle attachment. Next, we have our irregular bones, which have complex shapes that do not fit into the other categories. They often have specialized functions like protecting nervous tissue and supporting multiple joints of attachment for muscles. Sesamoid bones are small, round bones that are embedded within tendons. These bones protect tendons from stress and wear, enhancing the mechanical advantage of tendons. Bone maintenance and development are orchestrated by three main types of cells. Osteoblasts, which are responsible for the formation of new bone tissue. They also synthesize and secrete the bone matrix, which mineralizes to become new bone. Osteocytes, which are mature bone cells that originate from osteoblasts. They maintain the bone matrix and communicate with other bones to regulate bone health and remodeling. Then there are the osteoclasts. These large cells break down bone tissue, a process known as bone resorption. Osteoclasts help in bone remodeling and repair by removing old or damaged bone, allowing osteoblasts to create new, healthy bone. Now, how exactly do isometrics fit in all this? Such a famous question on our channel. Let's start with what they are. Isometric exercises, which involve contracting muscles without changing their length, offer significant benefits to the skeletal system in particular. Here's how. It offers mechanical stress because when muscles contract during isometric exercises, they apply force to the bones through their attachments. This mechanical stress stimulates osteoblast activity, leading to increased bone formation and density. Weight-bearing isometric exercises like planks or squats are fairly effective in this regard. This is a big deal because bone density tends to decrease with age, leading to conditions like osteoporosis. By incorporating isometric exercises into your routine, you can help maintain or even increase bone density, reducing the risk of fractures. Then there's mineral density. Regular isometric training enhances the deposition of essential minerals such as calcium and phosphorus into the bone matrix, making the bones more robust and less susceptible to fractures. This is a big deal, especially if you're older. This process is absolutely vital for maintaining the structural integrity of bones. The increased mineral density not only strengthens bones, but also makes them more resilient to daily wear and tear. ISO exercises also play a huge role in enhancing joint stability and health. We've made many videos on this topic, especially when it's about ligament and tendon strength. These static holds in isometric exercises improve the strength and resilience of those. The increased strength contributes to better joint stability, reducing the risk of injuries. Stronger ligaments and tendons mean that joints are better supported, which is particularly important for preventing conditions like sprains and strains. It's also going to increase your cartilage health because by maintaining static contractions, these exercises will nourish the cartilage in your joints through improved blood flow and synovial fluid circulation. The nourishment is essential for maintaining healthy, functional joints. This healthy cartilage acts as a cushion between bones, preventing friction and allowing for smooth movement. Enhanced blood flow and fluid circulation from isometric exercises will help keep cartilage healthy and reduce the risk of joint-related issues. Improving your posture and spinal health is another huge benefit for isometric exercises. These exercises target postural muscles such as the erector spinae and deep abdominal muscles. Strengthening these muscles helps maintain proper spinal alignment and posture, reducing the risk of musculoskeletal issues. Good posture is not just about appearance though, it also affects overall health by ensuring the body's systems are aligned correctly. Strong postural muscles help prevent the common issue of back pain, especially in people who spend long hours standing or sitting. Exercise like planks and isometric holds engage the core muscles, providing better support for the spine and enhancing overall stability. A strong core is essential for maintaining balance and stability during various activities, from everyday tasks to athletic performance. By engaging the core muscles through isometric exercises, you can perform spinal support and reduce the risk of injuries related to poor posture. These exercises are often used in rehabilitation and injury prevention due to their controlled and low impact, keywords, nature. For individuals recovering from injuries, ISO exercises allow for the muscle activation and strengthening without putting undue stress on the injured area. This controlled approach aids in gradual recovery and rebuilding of strength. Isometric exercises can be particularly beneficial for those recovering from surgeries or injuries that limit their range of motion. By allowing for muscle engagement without excessive movement, these exercises can help prevent muscle atrophy and promote healing. By enhancing muscle strength, joint stability, and bone density, isometric exercises reduce the likelihood of injuries. Stronger muscles and stable joints are less prone to strains, sprains, and fractures. Regular incorporation of isometric exercises into a fitness routine can build a resilient musculoskeletal system capable of withstanding the demands of daily activities and athletic endeavors. This proactive approach to injury prevention can help maintain long-term health and fitness. Now, before we go into isometrics and how they are linked up with the muscular system, we need to know about the muscular system. So let's get nerdy and talk exercise science. What is the muscular system? The body's muscular system is essentially the network of muscles throughout our body that enables movement, maintains posture, and supports various bodily functions. It comprises of three main types of muscles: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Skeletal muscles are what most people think of when they talk about muscles. These muscles are attached to bones by tendons and are under voluntary control, meaning you consciously decide to move them. They're responsible for all of your major movement, like lifting weights, running, and even simple tasks like typing or smiling. Skeletal muscles are striated, which means that they have a banded appearance under a microscope due to their structure of muscle fibers arranged in repeating units called sarcomeres. Smooth muscles are found in the walls of internal organs like the stomach, intestines, blood vessels, and even the skin. These muscles are involuntary, meaning they work without you having to think about it. They help with processes like digestion, blood flow, and regulating the size of your pupils. Smooth muscles are not striated and they contract in a slow, sustained manner. Cardiac muscle is found only in the heart. Like smooth muscle, it's involuntary, but it has a striated appearance similar to skeletal muscle. Cardiac muscle cells are connected by intercalated discs, which allow for synchronized contractions necessary to pump blood effectively throughout your body. Together, these muscles make up the muscular system and work in concert with other systems like the nervous system and the skeletal system to keep us moving and functioning properly. Here are a few key points about the muscular system before we transition to its involvement with isometrics. 1. Muscle fibers are the cells of muscles. They contain myofibrils, which are made up of repeating units called sarcomeres. Sarcomeres are the functional units of muscle contraction, where the proteins actin and myosin slide past each other to shorten the muscle producing force. 2. A motor unit consists of a motor neuron and the muscle fibers it innervates. When a motor neuron sends a signal, all the muscle fibers in that motor unit contract together. The size and number of motor units recruited determine the strength of the muscle contraction. 3. Muscle fibers can be classified as type 1 slow twitch or type 2 fast twitch. Slow twitch fibers are more endurance oriented and are used for activities like long distance running. Fast twitch fibers are more suited for explosive, powerful movements like sprinting or lifting heavy weights. 4. Muscles can adapt to various types of training. Resistance training leads to muscle hypertrophy through increased protein synthesis and the formation of new muscle fibers. Endurance training enhances the muscle's oxidative capacity, improving their ability to sustain prolonged activity. 5. When muscles are stressed during exercise, microscopic tears occur in the muscle fibers. The body repairs these tears through a process called muscle protein synthesis, where satellite cells, a type of stem cell, fuse to the damaged fibers, leading to muscle growth and increased strength. Essentially, the muscular system is a highly complex and adaptable network that enables you to perform everything from basic everyday activities to intense physical exertion, playing a huge role in overall health and fitness. Now, how exactly is that going to translate to isometric exercise? How do they interrelate? Let's get even more nerdy with it. When we hit those isometric exercises, we're basically contracting our muscles without changing their length. Think of it like pushing against a wall. You're generating force, but nothing's moving. This type of training can be broken down into yielding and overcoming isometrics, each giving your muscles a unique kind of challenge. Yielding isometrics are like holding a squat position halfway down. Your muscles are working hard to keep you in place, resisting gravity. This type of isometric contraction can help enhance muscle endurance and stability, as your muscle fibers are engaged continuously to maintain that position. It's like telling your muscles, hey, hold the fort. Your body's neuromuscular coordination gets a solid boost here. Now, with overcoming isometrics, which are a bit different, imagine you're trying to lift an immovable object, like pushing against a fixed barbell on a rack. Here, you're generating maximum force without actual movement. This form of isometric contraction is excellent for building maximum strength and power. Your central nervous system, or CNS, goes into overdrive, recruiting as many motor units as possible. It's like rallying all your muscle fibers for an all-out effort, even though there's no movement. During both types of isometrics, you're tapping into the muscle's force-length relationship. When your muscles contract isometrically, they operate at an optimal length for force production. This is different from dynamic movements where muscle length and contraction velocity can influence the force generated. Motor unit recruitment is another key play here, because in overcoming isometrics, we're essentially maxing out our muscles' ability to contract by calling on the high threshold motor units, which are typically harder to recruit. This can lead to greater muscle activation and, over time, increased strength. On the metabolic side, isometric exercises can also influence metabolic stress. During sustained isometric holds, muscle blood flow can be restricted, leading to an accumulation of metabolites like lactate, which can signal muscle growth through a process called metabolic hypertrophy. Now, about the muscle fibers, isometric exercises can engage both type 1 slow twitch and type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers. Yielding isos often keep the slow twitch muscle fibers engaged due to the endurance aspect. Think about planks here. While overcoming isos can fire up those fast twitch fibers, which are more about explosive strength. During these isometric exercises, especially OI, our muscles engage in a type of contraction known as maximal voluntary contraction, or MVC. And if you haven't seen our video on MVC, I always allude to this video. Here's a link right here. It is very important when we're talking about isometric training. Here's a link. Go ahead and check that out. This is where we push or pull as hard as we can against an immovable object. Engaging in maximal voluntary contractions increases intramuscular tension, which enhances mechanotransduction, contraction, which is the process by which cells sense and respond to mechanical loads. This can stimulate muscle protein synthesis, leading to muscle growth and strength gains over time. One of the reasons why we still can gain size and strength with isometrics. And if you haven't seen our video on isometric hypertrophy, here's a link. Go ahead and check that one out. Another aspect to consider is time under tension, or TUT. In isometric training, TUT is maximized because the muscle remains engaged for an extended period. This prolonged engagement can lead to greater metabolic stress and muscle fiber activation. The muscle fibers are held in a state of contraction, which promotes endurance and strength. Isometrics also play a significant role in joint stability. By strengthening the muscles around the joint, isometrics can enhance joint integrity and function, which is really important for stabilizing muscles such as the rotator cuff and the shoulder, or the muscles surrounding the knee. Having this enhanced joint stability can prevent injuries and improve overall movement efficiency. Tendon stiffness, another factor influenced by isometric exercises, involve the tendons which connect muscles to bones, and they will become more resilient through isometric training. Increasing tendon stiffness improves the efficiency of force transfer from muscle to bone, which is absolutely critical for explosive movements and overall athletic performance. One of the reasons why I've mentioned many times on this channel why athletes need to be performing OI on the regular. Neuromuscular efficiency is also improved with isometrics. This refers to the ability of the nervous system to effectively recruit muscle fibers to produce force. Isometric training enhances the brain-muscle connection, leading to more precise and powerful movements. Over time, this can result in better performance in dynamic exercises and sports activities. Isometric training is more than likely the best way to develop neurological strength. But what is that, and why would we even want that? Well, neurological strength refers to the strength and efficiency of the nervous system, which is responsible for transmitting signals between the brain and the rest of the body. It's really important for many aspects of physical performance, including muscle strength, coordination, and balance. There are several ways to improve neurological strength. First will be resistance training. Okay, so lifting weights or using other forms of resistance training can help improve neurological strength by increasing the strength and efficiency, keyword efficiency, of the muscles and the connections between the muscles and the nervous system. Then we've got plyometric training. I feel like this was the dark horse. Plyometric exercises, which involve explosive movements like jumping, can help improve neurological strength by increasing the speed and power of muscle contraction. Okay, and that's going to lead to the very last one. But before that, balance and coordination exercises, exercises that challenge balance and coordination, like Tai Chi and yoga, are going to help improve neurological strength. Why? How? Right? By strengthening the connections between the muscles and the nervous system. Okay. Mental training, because some research suggests that mental training techniques such as mindfulness and meditation can help improve neurological strength by strengthening the connections between the brain and body. And lastly, kind of like the hint from the plyo, okay? Increasing the speed and power of muscle contractions, like we mentioned in plyometric training about 30 seconds ago. Overcoming isometric training, OI is really about is increasing the power of muscle contractions. And if you haven't seen our video on overcoming isometric training and if it makes us slower or faster, here's a link right here. Go ahead and check that out. Really important to understand that before we move forward, because once you do, you kind of realize that overall improving neurological strength really can help improve physical performance, reduce the risk of injury. Also, it's also important to incorporate a variety of exercise and training methods into our routine to help improve neurological strength. Now, going into isometric training, we know that ISO training involves holding a muscle or muscle group in static position for a period of time. When we hit these ISO exercises, guys, our muscles are contracting and producing force. When it's OI, it's at the highest end of the force velocity curve. This is the maximum amount of force that our body can produce, and there is still no movement of the joint. By using overcoming isometric training, we are increasing the intensity of the muscle contractions to its utmost limit and forcing the nervous system to work harder to produce and maintain the force. This can help improve neurological strength by strengthening the connections between the muscles and the nervous system and increasing the efficiency, there's that word again, of the nervous system in transmitting signals, guys. Additionally, Isometric training can really help improve neurological strength by increasing muscle strength and power. When we perform iso exercises, our muscles are forced to work against a fixed resistance, which can help increase muscle strength and power. This can then translate into improved performance in activities that require that same strength and power, okay? Specificity, like jumping or throwing. So overall, OI can be a very powerful way to improve neurological strength and physical performance. It's also important to incorporate a variety of other exercises into it as well, but can you start to see how important that is? Here's an example, okay? We know that when we are performing an isometric exercise, our muscles are contracting, we're not moving through the range of motion. We know this. This type of contraction requires the activation of multiple muscle fibers though, which can lead to an increase in muscle strength and endurance. In addition to this, the impact on neurological function happens primarily because the brain and muscles are closely connected, and the act of contracting the muscles can stimulate the brain and nervous system. Research has actually shown that isometric exercises can improve balance, coordination, and reaction time, which are all important components of neurological strength. And if we take that last one, reaction time, we think about how freaking lightning quick Bruce Lee was, that last statement really makes perfect sense. So how long would it take to see development in this area for neurological strength, all right? And the answer is, it's that annoying answer, I'm sorry, but it does vary because of the number of factors, including our starting level of fitness, the intensity and frequency of our workouts, and total overall health and wellness, okay? So in general, it's important to allow our body adequate time to rest and recover between these workouts, just like with any dynamic program, because again, this is when the muscles repair and rebuild themselves, and we need that time. Even with the Fen effect, we still need that time. We can't just keep punishing our body without any type of recovery period, okay? But when we do it right, it's going to lead to increased strength and endurance. We also should make sure that, because of, just like any other exercise program, it's important to start slow, all right, and gradually increase the intensity and duration of our workouts. Even with this, if our goal is neurological strength, as our body becomes stronger and more accustomed to the demands of these exercises, because if you've ever done OI, it's really, really demanding. It might seem like somebody's just grunting and stuff for 6 seconds. That is just not true. This is freaking hard, all right? But there's a reason why. And it's also because it'll help to reduce the risk of injury and ensure that we are able to safely and effectively progress through our fitness journey. Remember that improvements in neurological strength, just like any other aspect of physical fitness, it's not gonna happen overnight. Let's be patient, but over time we will get those results. Becoming more efficient, mind-muscle connection, becoming lightning quick. Hopefully a lot of what we covered today makes sense. I know I talked a mile a minute, but what are your thoughts? Were you already familiar with the tie-ins between neurological strength and isometric training? Honestly, in particular, is overcoming isometric training. Go ahead and comment down below. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, if you found value in this, be sure to drop a like, go ahead and comment. And if you're not yet part of the squad, hit that subscribe button. Come join the squad with us. We'll see you next video. Peace.